We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Pink Media, a leading LGBTQ plus marketing agency, saw its 250 plus Twitter accounts permanently suspended.
Elon Musk relocates SpaceX and Twitter from California to Texas, following disputes over the state's new LGBTQ plus friendly policies for schools.
Omar Apollo's love interview with Combini delves into his views on love, seeking soulful connections, celebrity crushes, and Pedro Pascal.
California's AB 1955, signed by Governor Newsom, prohibits schools from disclosing LGBTQ plus students' identities without consent, ensuring student safety.
My G-Work study shows high depression and anxiety rates among LGBTQ plus professionals, with only 13.7% feeling fully authentic at work.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels. We are proud to announce that YouTube has recognized Queer News Tonight, certified by analytics company vidIQ, that we have had more than 9 million views because of you. Thank you. It is Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ plus evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ plus news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our queer culture, the Black community, Latino, lesbians and queer women, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV and AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ plus community and broader community.
Thank you, Dino. So let's meet tonight's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome Bonnie Builder. There's my sis. Look at her. Look at that mug. Looking beautiful as ever. Man, she gets more gorgeous every time she's on Queer News Tonight. Look.
It's called practice.
Teeth, hair, body. Hair. Yes. She is the premier South Florida bodybuilding drag queen and the forever reigning Mixed Marys Wilton Manors. Once she won, they broke the crown. A recent graduate of FIU, Bonnie Builder is a trainer during the day, but comes to life with a microphone and a spotlight. Welcome back, Bonnie. Tell me what happened at this pageant.
Okay.
I heard things. I don't feel good. I'm not happy about it.
So I participated in the Nathan's inaugural pageant on July 15th, which was this past Monday. I didn't win, but I'm very happy for the winner, Regina. You did an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you. Also, one of my good Judies, Roxy Stones, got runner-up, so I'm very proud of you. And also, a great participant was LaDonna Susia. She also did fabulous. So here's a couple of photos of my participation in the pageant. There were multiple categories: glamour, camp, which I did a gym rat, obviously.
I love it.
There was also talent and Q&A. I felt so gorgeous. I have to give a huge shout out to Jamar Amani. He's a close friend of mine. He actually designed 2 of my glamour looks and took these wonderful, stunning photos. And also my drag mother, Katya Attention, who styled my wigs. Oh God, it looks so pretty.
Listen, nobody styles a wig like your mom. You do know that, right?
I know it because I wear it.
Oh,
she pays me full price.
So I got to ask you, okay, so I had friends that went to the inaugural pageant, and, I said, you better be rooting on Bonnie because that's my sister, right? And they said that you were exceptional in Q&A and that you looked amazing, but that you got a BS question. Is that true?
I think it was a kooky question. While my sisters got questions like, what does drag mean to you and what adversity have you had to overcome? My question was, who's your favorite, Madonna or Kylie Minogue? Now, I did have to flip it to make it into a pageant question and to shorthand it. Basically, I don't pit these women against each other. They've done an incredible amount of contributions for our queer community, and I also aspire to have long, illustrious careers like these two beautiful women. So I can't choose. I love them both.
No,
Yay.
that's amazing. And you're just, I mean, I thought for sure you were going to win this.
Me
right?
too.
You're a winner to me.
I love,
Don't I know it?
I love Regina Coco. She's an amazing person. I feel bad to say this, but I feel like you were robbed. So what do your judges sheets say? Like, okay, I love judging pageants. It's one of my favorite things to do. Even if you finish at 3 a.m, it really is. The money that it takes, everything that it takes to be inside to be part of a pageant. All right.
Yeah.
And at the end of most pageants, they give you your scorecard with everything that the judges said. So the pageant participant knows where they maybe went wrong, or maybe, whatever didn't go their way. What was said by the judges to make you not win?
Well, I wouldn't know because they did not hand out score sheets at the end of the pageant.
That's not cool.
At the very end, they announced the runner-up, which again, congratulations to Roxy Stones, and they announced the winner. Congratulations to Regina. I don't know exactly how I did. At one point after talent, we did get remarks immediately after, and I got all praises. Like, they loved my concept. I did a lip sync rendition of Joyful Joyful from Sister Act 2.
Yes,
I had reveals. I had a tambourine. I was giving church lady realness with my punani out. It was fabulous. So I felt good. I felt like I couldn't have changed a thing. I did everything correct. I looked amazing. It was the most beautiful I ever felt. Also, thank you to Nathan's for hosting this event. Actually, Nathan himself loved everything that I brought to the table. He gave me high praises. So I love the people. I love the establishment. I'm not bitter about it. I just know that when it's my time, it will be my time.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. All right, you are Miss Queer News tonight forever.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Next up, let's welcome anchor Cindy Brown. Cindy was an early organizer of the Miami AIDS Walk and the White Party for Care resource. She is the programs director for the Lambda Living program at Jewish Community Services, and she also served as the founding executive director of Miami Beach Pride. Cindy, so Jewish Community Services South Florida is bringing an AI and virtual reality session at Senior Planet on July 25th. Tell us what's happening.
Well, Senior Planet is one of our partners, and they're an amazing organization partnering with AARP. They're a technology hub that's absolutely free for anyone who's 50 and older. There's computer banks. There's all kinds of different classes. They have a little recording studio. And next Thursday, we are going to bring a group of seniors there to learn about artificial intelligence, which, for seniors, that's, some of them don't really understand how they
Can't even spell AI.
Yeah, right. and virtual reality. So and these folks will also have an opportunity, put on the glasses and experience something in virtual reality. And I encourage you, if you're interested in learning more, just to Google Lambda Living Online, and you'll find our calendar with lots of online activities as well as in-person activities. And if you're in Wynwood next Thursday, join us at Senior Planet around noon, and you can play with us too.
All right.
Girl, thank you for bringing that to the seniors.
Absolutely.
I love that. AI and technology can be scary for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Especially seniors, and to be able to make it a safe place for them to open up and explore all this wonderful technology that we have now.
Right. At least once a month we have an LGBT Senior Day at their facility. And, we review different topics, and there's always one-on-one support. So if you're like, I can't figure out this phone, you'll have one-on-one support where there'll be somebody there who can show you. You can bring your tablet, you can bring your laptop. They can help you set everything up.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Cindy.
These two will definitely see you there.
I will be there for sure. Next up, let's welcome Mr. Dino Mosquera. Give that smile. Give that side face. Yeah. So Dino joined the Miami Gay and Lesbian Film Festival in the late 90s when I was just a little lesbian, and now serves on the Outshine Film Festival's board of directors. So Dino, the Outshine Signature Cocktails and Cinema Night is taking place on July 18th, and it's always a real good, fun time. And it's happening at the Gateway Fort Lauderdale featuring Sebastian, right? Tell us what's happening.
This is a wonderful film we had at the Miami Film Fest, Miami edition of the Film Festival festival this April, and he won the festival. It comes from England. It's a fantastic tale of a writer / escort, and fantastic film. People loved it. In fact, it won the festival. So we're gonna have it this Thursday at the Gateway in Fort Lauderdale. So hope you can come and join us. And then we're preparing for the film festival coming up in October. We're gonna have it both different this year. We're going to have in both counties, in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So we're going to have more news about the program later on in the upcoming weeks, but we wanted to advertise it starting now. So
yes, I love the name Cocktails and Cinema.
My two favorite things, yeah.
And of course, this is tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She is legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of the FayWhat show on Mondays at Hotspots Happening Out. Faye, FayWhat, an LGBTQ plus Caribbean festival by Hotspots magazine, is taking place August 10 at the Richardson Historic Park and Nature Preserve. Tell me what's going on.
So this event is one of my faves, actually. August 10th, 6 to 11 p.m., Richardson Historic Park in Wilton Manors. Enjoy the enriched culture of Caribbean community in a safe space for the LGBTQ plus community and our allies. This is your chance to celebrate diversity, community, and Caribbean, however you say it, vibes like never before. The evening will be filled with Caribbean music, food, and entertainment. The food is delicious. Get your tickets now, just $7, all right? That's right, $7, that's it, before the price goes up before the event day, okay? August 10th, 6 to 11 p.m. A Pride Fete is going cashless, so make sure that you bring your debit credit card for a smooth experience, or get your tickets during pre-sale at pridefete.lgbt. We are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. First this evening, let's queer up social justice. Musk's Twitter suspends hundreds of LGBTQ plus accounts, sparking allegations of targeted homophobia. Pink Media, a prominent social media marketing agency specializing in LGBTQ plus outreach, was dealt a heavy blow as all of its 250 plus accounts on Twitter were permanently suspended this week. The agency's statement released following the incident highlighted concerns over targeted censorship against LGBTQ plus voices on the platform. According to Pink Media, the suspension of all accounts occurred at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, citing a vague violation of Twitter's rules based on a, quote, user report. The agency accused the platform of executing a deliberate takedown, asserting that the coordinated action could only have been initiated internally. The statement mentioned that this was a well-researched and well-prepared takedown of a network of LGBTQ+ X profiles that had well over 1 million followers worldwide. The suspension affected not only Pink Media's business-focused profiles, but also LGBTQ+ tourism profiles, such as Palm Springs Gay Desert Guide and Visit Britain's Gay Britain account, along with numerous others. Criticism towards Twitter intensified following the incident, with Pink Media and others alleging that the platform under Elon Musk's ownership has fostered an environment hostile to marginalized communities. Many LGBTQ+ organizations have left the social media platform, citing concerns over increased homophobia and diminished protections. If the suspension of Pink Media's accounts were intentional, it would not be the first time that Elon Musk's platform has tried to sabotage queer voices. GLAAD's annual Social Media Safety Index report found that the app is the worst among all social media platforms for LGBTQ+ people. You know, as soon as Elon Musk allowed it to be just porn, dick pics all over, and the fact that you could be homophobic and also transphobic, and you could also be a freaking racist and a bigot on the site, FayWhat left, okay? So I don't know anything else that happens on Twitter aside from when I do these stories that just freaking anger me, right? 250 plus platforms. That is freaking crazy. That is right there trying to diminish and close LGBTQ+ voices. Now, Pink Media, I expect more from you guys also, because you guys are top notch. And, you know these people are against us. You know they want it. This is totally internally. This is totally directed at you. And it was to close us, to shut us down, to keep our voices limited. And that's exactly what they're doing. Of course it was intentional.
Right. I would say to all LGBTQ LGBTQ plus folks who are watching us, if you're still on that platform, delete it. I mean, it's been shown time and time and time again that they're not supportive. You go there and you're going to get bombarded with hate. You try and make a positive post and everyone's going to rip you down. I agree that there are times and places that it's just better not to be and not to say anything. And Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it is not a place that I want to be.
A lot of my gay boys have stayed on Twitter because of the porn. Right? Just because it's the new Pornhub. It's free porn and it's gotten even more explicit.
Go to Pornhub.
No,
instead.
you should. No, or let it become a porn freaking site. I don't give a shit. What do you think, Bonnie? You're on it. You're on it for the porn. I know that for a fact.
I like looking at dicks and butts.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Big fan of that.
Me.
So, true. So, I still have the app. So when you say these sentiments, it sort of brings me to the point of leaving an environment where we feel like we're being pushed out. So we're sort of contributing to their motive. I know it's like fighting a higher power because you're literally fighting the owner of this app. But if we all dip and desert it, then all that's left is like a stew pot of hatred, and they're just going to grow massively. There are people who are not on either side of the fence, hateful or prideful, that are still learning about each way. So if we desert the platform, then we abandon those people to just learn and stew in hate. Now, if I'm forced to leave it, then all the people I follow on Twitter, just send all your naked pictures to my Instagram at BonnieBuilder. If we're leaving Instagram, then I'll give you my phone number some other time. But I think I understand everybody's viewpoints, but we do have to do a little bit of pushback. There's a lot of information that I have learned from Twitter, and it's not just what certain people's insides look like. It's actual political content that I've learned through Twitter.
That you couldn't get anywhere else but Twitter?
No, there is a place for Twitter in this, X, whatever you want to call it now.
Oh my God, yeah.
But in this society, it's not Twitter, but yes, I totally agree with what you all have said, and I totally understand that American media is up for, for sale, for the best. They got, and Elon Musk have become a pariah. He's become, this rich guy that could really change society. Twitter had already had an impact in many countries. And you see it in Iran with the protests of the hijab and all that. And in places like Venezuela with the protests starts in Twitter and continues in Twitter, where many media is censored. Twitter, which is now being censored by Elon Musk, had a place in society. So unfortunately, because our society allows people like Elon Musk and Fox, to Rupert Murdoch to own media and make substantial change to the way how we see news and how we express our discontent, this is what happens. Twitter was a good media until he took it over.
What was it when it started with the first 180 characters or whatever it was? That was the place to go for everything. But it was that.
Right.
Before Elon got freaking crazy. Let's be real, I'm not going to be on a platform that allows people to use the N-word. I'm not. Right. I refuse to. And they're not censoring. They're only censoring people that are not white cisgendered people.
And the reality is, we're going to talk about depression in a story in a little bit. And, social media is a huge contributing factor to depression. And the more people try and power through it, the harder it is on themselves. So I'll say that people need to understand what triggers them. And if you need to make sure that you aren't doing things that are going to be detrimental to your mental health. And that could be going on a social media platform where you're going to see horrible things said about you.
Yeah.
But I have an innate aversion to the idea of if you don't like it, leave. There are a lot of powerful queer voices that are platformed on Twitter. I don't want them to leave. I know the sentiment that I just said is very small scale compared to the power that we are battling against here. But if we dip out, what what are we salvaging? What are we saving? Are we going to dip out of every platform that gets controlled by some strong right-wing conglomerate?
Just X.
Yeah, and
You say that now.
You
You
can
say
stay
that
there.
now.
So Bonnie, you stay there and you support it on behalf of the queer community because I refuse to.
Right, but
You know what I mean?
I
So
got
you
you,
stay
girl.
there. I got to move on to the next story. All right?
All right.
But if you want to stay there, please do.
Yeah, so
X,
now,
Twitter, whatever the hell.
yeah, and we're gonna go back
Right
to
back.
we're gonna go back to him again.
That's
So
right.
next, let's queer up business. Elon Musk once again moved SpaceX and Twitter X headquarters to Texas over California's new LGBTQ+ school policies. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk has declared plans to relocate his companies, SpaceX and Twitter, from California to Texas, following the enactment of the Support Academic Futures and Educators for Today's Youth Safety Act Governor Gavin Newsom signed. This legislation, designed to protect LGBTQ+ students, particularly transgender youth, prohibits forced outing policies in schools and supports gender-affirming environments. Musk, who has a transgender daughter, blamed the policies of his daughter's school for her decision to sever ties with him. Jenna Wilson, who legally changed her name in 2022, came out as trans at 16 without informing Musk. According to Walter Isaacson's biography of Musk, he observed a shift in his daughter's desire to maintain a relationship with him as her political views progressed from socialism to full communism, including the belief that wealth is inherently evil, end quote. Musk has not shared anti-trans messages, but also not only has shared anti-trans messages, but also insists that society and Twitter are plagued by a woke mind virus. The CEO also strongly opposed the new safety law, declaring SpaceX's departure from Hawthorne, California to Starbase, Texas, and Twitter's headquarters relocation to Austin, Texas. This move follows his recent show of support for Donald Trump and his pledge of $45 million monthly to the American PAC. Well, it's once again trying to use his voice and his companies to make it hard for LGBT youth. I mean, it's no wonder that his daughter didn't want to maintain a relationship with him, with his beliefs and what he says and what he has no issue saying. And, California is probably waving goodbye.
Right? For real. Listen, Elon, you think you can hurt California by leaving? Bye, Felicia. They don't give a shit about you.
Right?
They want you gone, right?
Exactly.
And it just makes sense. I'm surprised he didn't come to Florida, right? Because if you want to be homophobic and you want to spew transphobia, right? And you want to marginalize people, you come to Florida.
DeSantis
Or Texas, right?
buddy up
So,
to you.
and you know what? Parents are not, and going back to what Gavin Newsom has put into place, which, by the way, I love Gavin Newsom. Run for president,
Yes,
damn it.
please.
I think
My
we're going to
Lord.
talk about that more later.
Move. Nobody cares,
Right,
Elon.
exactly.
Just move your money to Texas, okay? Mr. Abbott will be super happy to have you over there.
Right.
Yeah, but it goes to tell you, I mean, look at the power of this guy, how much money he's giving to the super PAC to support Donald Trump.
$45 million.
45 million.
Which
Isn't
is
this
nothing to him.
Right.
To him, it's nothing,
Which is
right?
coffee.
Right. But the power, I mean, the rest of us have to obey by limit. How much is it? Like $120?
And he's talking $45 million
Yes,
a month.
A month. A month.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, the power that this guy has.
And he's using
and
it
using
for
it
hate.
for hate, exactly, including his own daughter.
Right.
So he doesn't see that. Somehow he thinks that it's socialist to be trans or be queer.
Yeah.
So
He blames it on the woke culture.
right.
The woke culture that his daughter decided that she has the right to be her true, authentic self, even with a father like Elon Musk.
Right.
Yeah.
It says a lot about a person when you don't talk to your parents. That,
Right.
Take
Exactly.
that into consideration.
and you have 12 kids, so just think about it.
By 3 or 4 baby mama. Put that penis away, dude. Don't make more of you, okay? Like, you know, your trans daughter is amazing. She is an amazing specimen who has bravery, right? And who has, you know, she doesn't give a crap. She puts her opinion out on the table and knows who her father is and still fights for what she needs to. You know, somebody else would have just shut up and taken money and gone away.
Yeah,
you
bravo.
Know? Not his trans daughter. I love that.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's right. Well, to keep it light, next, let's square up entertainment. Omar Apollo makes me wonder if ugly boyfriends are amazing. In a candid love interview with Konbini, queer pop sensation Omar Apollo shared insights into his views on love, romance, and his personal experiences. Apollo didn't hold back when discussing his romantic preferences. He talked about the soulful connection he seeks in relationships, the inner beauty of any person and personality. He said, quote, "I've had like ugly boyfriends. The physical is not as important," end quote. Talking about love at first sight, Apollo admitted it hadn't always worked out positively for him. From his first kiss in church with a girl to the first guy he fell in love with, Apollo shared moments that shaped his understanding of love. Discussing celebrity crushes, he playfully named Megan Good, Jason Bateman, and Jimmy Fallon. When asked about the last time he expressed his love for someone, the singer happily admitted, quote, "Probably last night or today." He also talked about his friendship with Pedro Pascal, who is making an appearance on Apollo's new album. However, the interviewer could not get him to talk about one thing. When asked whether dating other celebrities is easier if one is famous themselves, Apollo giggled and said, "No comment." But he did express unwavering confidence in his lovability, stating, quote, "No one's ever done with me. I'm too sweet, nice, and charismatic." The interview is interesting for the LGBTQ plus community because the discussion focuses on the importance or lack of importance of looks in relationships. Watch Omar Apollo's full interview on Konbini for more spicy details of his romantic life and upcoming projects. Now, this is a handsome man.
Yes.
Sounds like a fun interview. I can't relate to most of what he said because my husband is hot.
Okay, wait. So you're saying that you've never dated somebody that? Okay, first of all, God doesn't make anybody ugly. All right,
That's
everybody's
not
got
true.
no. Even the person that's not the most handsome still has some kind of beauty as part of them. Okay. And I will say that when I was drunk, I dated a lot of lackluster looking people because I was drunk, right?
Ugly.
And because lackluster looking people work harder in bed. So I did date a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me that you've never went out with someone that wasn't super, super hot?
Well, okay. I had an ex-boyfriend a couple years back. I'm not going to say his name because I don't remember it. But when I broke up with him, my friends were like, "God, girl, he was not attractive." And I was like, y'all didn't want to say nothing during the fact. Y'all just had me walking around with no Nosferatu the whole time.
Okay, but you
What
didn't
about
think
if they
that.
did?
I didn't think he was ugly.
And he wasn't.
I
was
think
a
beauty
good lady.
It's
you know,
relative.
It's in the eye of, it is. It's
Exactly.
absolutely relative.
So is
And
ugliness.
I've dated people who some folks might say, "Oh, they're not attractive,"
Right.
but they were to me.
Right.
And yeah, they're good in bed.
And they're good
Right.
in bed. Okay, there's something innate about somebody inside that could turn you on like
Right.
nobody's business.
If
They're
Like,
inside, then they're
the head.
turning on.
Bonnie, I know you're going to make
head,
fun of me
yes.
for that, but I'm telling you, like, smart people, like, that
Yep.
shit is like...
Smart
it's-
is sexy.
Yeah, it brings your inhibitions out. Like, you want to do stuff with... Oh, my God. When my wife started reading the medical journals to me, I'm like, bitch, take off your clothes. Like, that is sexy.
Smart is sexy, and it helps when the sexy, smart person is sexy. Like my husband is smart and fucking sexy.
Yeah,
So,
but
like there's
have
sexy
you
smart
have you
people.
asked your friends, do you find my boyfriend sexy?
I have, and they
Okay.
think he's hot. So I did something
The
right.
same people who told you your
Right.
ex was ugly. I
Right.
want to make sure.
Yeah, the same
Okay, okay,
motherfuckers.
okay.
So you
They're
got
like,
the
he is
approval this time.
fine, and y'all seen him. He is.
I haven't
fine.
met him.
What
I
else?
wanted to meet him
That's-
at the.
well, because I know
at
your way.
Stonewall. Yeah,
I know who you are.
Bonnie knows what she's doing.
Right.
I know you are, you
Trash.
shady bitch.
6 feet, bitch.
Next, let's queer up students and youth culture. California enacts a trailblazing law protecting LGBTQ plus students. California has made history by passing Assembly Bill 1955, signed by Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, which prohibits schools from disclosing LGBTQ plus students' gender identity or sexual orientation to their parents without explicit consent. This landmark legislation is the first of its kind in the nation, and it aims to protect students from potential harm and discrimination. The new law mandates that California schools respect students' privacy regarding their gender identity and sexuality. It also requires the California Department of Education to provide families with resources on how to handle discussions about these topics privately, highlighting the importance of maintaining trust and safety for all students. The bill's passage responds to previous policies in conservative districts within California that enforced mandatory disclosure of students' gender identities to their parents, potentially endangering transgender students. Currently, 8 states in the U.S. mandate the forced outing of transgender youth in schools, while several others, like Florida, encourage it. California's proactive stance sets it apart as a leader in protecting the rights and privacy of LGBTQ+ students within the educational system. Assembly member Chris Ward, the bill's author, stated that the law prevents teachers from acting as gender police and affirms the importance of respecting the parent-child relationship without compromising student safety and well-being. Parents are usually not the first person that people come out to. For those that it is, kudos to the parent to have that kind of relationship with your child that makes them want to come out to you first. But I have to say that just by my experience, that percentage is very low, right? Outing somebody can be destructive. I had friends that were outed and they were disowned, thrown out of the house at 15 years old. Right. That is no age for that to happen, and that could easily happen in Middle America or right here at any given time. So again, another kudos to Gavin Newsom for just giving human rights to children. That's all it is. You're literally giving a kid the right to be who they are without outing them. Like, when the F did it become okay to out people in our community?
Exactly.
Like, I feel like we're back to the days where people would put like people's name in the paper, you know what I mean, when they were gay. Exactly. I feel like we're back to that.
And this is such a great piece of legislation. And it is the reason that SpaceX and Twitter X are moving out of the state. This is such a wonderful piece of legislation. The entire country should be celebrating it, and other states should want to fall in step and have similar policies. And the fact that people are thinking of it as a horrible thing and a virus or, it's just ridiculous, because kids are dying every day because they're afraid of what's going to happen. They realize they're LGBT and they're terrified. They're terrified of what's going to happen. I know I was. It was the 70s and it was not like it is today.
Yeah, let's face it. A teacher should be an ally to a child.
Absolutely.
And he should mentor and protect a child. Many times it's not the case.
Right. Yeah.
Many teachers are homophobic as well. A child finds that danger. If they are trying to find protection and the teacher goes and, disclose it to a parent that is going to kick the child out of the home, how are you going to feel about going back to school?
Right.
Find a safe place at school.
A lot of people skip school because of being bullied.
Right, exactly. This is one of the reasons, Gavin Newsom should run for president of this country, for real. The guy, and he's not even gay. The guy is a straight man.
He's such an ally.
Such an ally.
I lived there when he was mayor of San Francisco, and it was like, come on, dude, you need to run for president.
Right.
You're just an incredible human, an ally, and a fighter. But again, basic rights. This is basic rights that these kids deserve.
It's actually humanity. It's basic humanity.
And giving the parents the resources, that's the extra key, right? Because a lot of parents, are just like, okay, like my mom would say, like, I just don't want you to have a tough life. That's why I'm sad that you're gay, right? But the reality was that she wasn't educated in gay rights. She wasn't educated.
And you have a fabulous life.
And I do, but it's not everybody has that ability to just run away. I ran from New Jersey to Florida at 17 because my parents didn't support me. Not everybody has that ability to do that. You're stuck there at home with a parent that doesn't want you to be gay, and a school that's going to tell your parent.
Right.
Anyway.
Or it's going to change your life dramatically if you leave your home. So.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move up. Next, let's square up health. LGBTQ plus professionals face high rates of depression and anxiety. Queer News Tonight has reported anxiety stories from the broad LGBTQ plus community many times, but a new study catches us by surprise that mental health issues are prevalent among LGBTQ plus professionals, a group that you may think is isolated from discrimination. A comprehensive study conducted by My G Work has highlighted alarming rates of mental health issues among LGBTQ plus professionals worldwide. Published in partnership with social psychologist Mark Svensson, the research underscores significant challenges faced by queer individuals beyond Pride Month. Key findings indicate that 44.6% of LGBTQ plus professionals have experienced depression, with even higher rates among trans and non-binary individuals. Additionally, close to a third of respondents reported experiencing a generalized anxiety disorder, with similarly elevated rates among trans, non-binary, and bi+ respondents. The study also revealed that only 13.7% of participants felt fully comfortable expressing their authentic selves in professional settings, contrasting with over 72% who felt more authentic among friends. Regional disparities were evident, with higher levels of openness reported in the UK and Europe compared to North America and Africa. Despite this, the study found that 58% of LGBTQ plus professionals were open about their sexual orientation at work, underscoring the positive impact of increasing inclusiveness. However, the research highlighted gaps in support structures. A significant 75% of respondents indicated that their employers lack comprehensive training and policies to support LGBTQ plus mental health adequately. This is something that a lot of us face in this community. And obviously, you study to prepare yourself to be a professional. Mm-hmm. You don't want to put, your chances at risk many times. And then, therefore, you go into the closet. You may be out in society among your friends. Right. But when you work, and I have to say, I'm probably part of that too. Right. You don't put yourself out there the same way you do when you kiki with your friends, at the bar. So it's, and it's one of the reasons. It's very stressful and leads to depression. So this is not, news to a lot of us. This is happening daily. Yeah. And if you want to, stay safe I know we should have a work environment that protects us as well. Right. But the chances are that, you may risk consequences sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And years ago, in the early 90s, I made a decision that I wanted to be out at work. And so I made an effort. Every job that I applied for and got.
You made out with the women in the place.
No, they knew exactly who I was. No, they knew from the very beginning. And, consequently, I've worked for LGBT organizations, but, I work for Jewish Community Services now. Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm a lesbian, and I run a program for LGBT seniors. And there are a lot of people who are professionals that have mental health challenges. And even though you could be out at work, someone like me who's been out at work for decades could still suffer depression because of what's happening in the world.
Completely.
So this story was not a surprise at all. Yeah. It's just not. And I would just say there are places, if you do feel like you're depressed, there are a lot of places that you can go to get support. Very true. So I would encourage you, if you're in South Florida, Broward County, you can go to SunServe. In Miami-Dade County, you can go to JCS, because we have counseling services for all LGBTQ plus folks.
I want to add, being that I've worked in the fitness community for so long, initially I would implement what is called code switching. Mm-hmm. So I'd be my fabulous gay self out with my friends, and then once I clocked into work, it was all muted, toned down. Don't talk about what you did for the weekend. Don't talk about who you're interested in, because you just didn't want to out yourself in that way. especially in the fitness community where it's very machismo, macho.
Yeah.
And also we have to be in close proximity with other people. My innate feeling would be, I don't want this person to be uncomfortable with my sexuality. So I would sort of fault myself for being gay because I didn't want to make people around me feel bad or uncomfortable.
So you basically were in the closet for that moment while you're training somebody.
Literally,
because when you're stretching them, you don't want them to think stupid shit.
Exactly. Nowadays, I'm like, I'm gay, I do drag, you better come to a booking or you're homophobic. Like, honestly, like I care less now. But back then when you're younger and you have like a lower waist job, it's just like, let me just keep quiet because I'm not going to be here that much longer. So let me just keep it chill. But when you come out to your parents and your friends, that's a huge jump. When you come out in the workspace, that's another huge jump because you don't know if that's going to compromise your wages, your ability to live. And that leads to anxiety and depression. You feel like you're closeted, closed off. You can't talk about things, family life, love life, like your coworkers do. So you feel like you're on the outs. And I completely agree with that sentiment. I've been there. There are, like Cindy said, there are absolutely so many resources, but do understand that there's a percentage of people who do not care about your sexuality. Much like myself, I was telling myself that they would care. I was telling myself the clients would care. They did not care.
They didn't.
And if they did care, I'm a big 230-pound dude. What they gonna do?
They ain't fucking.
What they gonna do?
They ain't messing with you. But you know, the reality is that most companies don't have training and support for LGBTQ plus people who work there, right? And the people who are around them. Both your sentiments are fantastic, but they're both luxuries that you both have. Understand that, right? There's many people in the business world that, you know, my wife's a nurse. She was not out for most of her tenure because it's the same way, like Bonnie was saying, right? You're tending to a patient that doesn't want to be touched by a gay person. Right?
I went through that. I've been through that. That was one of my biggest fear when I was doing my residency. I was an intern and he was a resident. He was very flamboyant, very out. This, again, a lot of us come from different countries. It's not America. We don't have the same. So I grew up with that fear. He was very flamboyant. He was in the residency. He got expelled. He got kicked out. And after I saw that, he was going to be
a doctor, correct?
Yeah, he was. He was ahead of me. He was going to be a pediatrician. He was going to be a pediatrician. So, and he was kicked out. I saw that, and immediately, what is your reaction? You just
go in the closet.
Go even deeper into that closet. I fear that that was going to happen to me. And we were friends. You know, we were like, you know,
friends.
Yeah, no, we never had anything, but we were very friends.
But you friends, you went to a bar after and you were in safe company.
And I was like fearful that will happen to me. How do you think you get rid of that? That's very difficult to get over that. I know when we come here, things it's like reprogramming in many ways, but you never know. I work with people here very homophobic, where they will make these defamatory comments, against gay people in the office, just like Nelly Willy, just and how do you feel? I mean, there are consequences. If I get fired, I lose my job. And therefore, that's my...
I mean, listen, LGBTQ plus people are full of fear for a million reasons, right? And nobody wants to lose their job in this economic climate that we're in right now. Let it be now. Add on top of it that it's an election year, right? So LGBTQ plus people are scared as shit to come out or even talk about politics at work because, you want to get that promotion. You want to get that raise, right? And you don't know if your boss or HR person is not gay friendly. You just don't know. That's fear. Of course we're freaking depressed.
Right.
Yeah. That is true.
Next. As a nonprofit LGBTQ plus media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We also like to thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ plus community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on Hot Deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
We finished tonight's Queer News headlines with a segment we call LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Bears of South Florida entire theater buyout for Deadpool and Wolverine Saturday, July 27th. Catch the highly anticipated Deadpool 3 at AMC Coral Ridge on Saturday, July 27th. Organized by Bears of South Florida and South Florida Pride bands, the event promises an exclusive theater experience. Tickets are $16 and must be purchased in advance. The proceeds of the event will benefit both organizations. After the movie, you will attend a meetup at Rosie's at 4 p.m. for further community fun. Take advantage of this chance to support local causes and enjoy a blockbuster film. Further details can be found at bosfl.org. Now, I'm not really familiar with either film, but this is for you, Bears.
I love it. Listen, a theater full of bears, I am in. Deadpool and Wolverine, oh my God, where are my tickets? I will be there, even if it's in Coral Ridge.
Yeah, this is gonna be a gay fest. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, it's a Wolverine and Deadpool. Come on.
And if every seat is bought out, I'm gonna find me somewhere to sit. Trust me, baby.
You're gonna sit on top of a bear.
Trust me, baby. I'm gonna find somewhere to sit. All right, LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up entertainment. Bowen celebrates Frociaggine Vita, summer vacation in Italy. Las Culturistas host Bowen and Matt Rogers are vacationing in Italy. How nice. Yang shared photos on Instagram, including a pic of himself on a boat wearing a Speedo, sunglasses, and a headscarf. The post humorously captioned, Frociaggine Vita references Pope Francis' recent use of gay slur. His play on words was on the film La Dolce Vita, The Sweet Life. Yang changed it to the Pope slur, making it the faggot life. It was funny. That is comedy. It took me a while to figure out how to pronounce that word. You caught me looking down camera trying to get the pronunciation of it. Though. And I think I just barely got it. Frociaggine. If I get called that, I'm going to actually be flattered. Well, homophobes need to be more creative like the Pope.
Well, if you can take it as funny, then I'll take it as funny.
Yeah, I'm going to take it as funny. That's what they told me to say. I'm going to take it as funny.
Yeah. Like, I like Owen Yang. I enjoy him. I didn't initially, right? And then he did something on Saturday Night Live that I was just like, oh my God, this kid is funny as shit, right? Yeah. So yes, all for it, right? Turn something negative and make it a positive and a funny thing. We've literally invented that in LGBTQ plus. When you're making fun of us, we're going to take that and make it fabulous and entertain others.
Right.
That's right.
I hope that Pope is watching this, so please.
He watches every night. He watches every Wednesday when I'm here. So.
Yeah, let's see what he thinks.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up religion. Reverend Shore-Goss leads LGBTQ plus inclusive church in Republican-dominated Bradenton. Reverend Dr. Joseph Shore-Goss leads Faith United Church of Christ and LGBTQ plus inclusive church in conservative and very red Bradenton, Florida. The church's slogan proudly says, quote, Jesus didn't reject people, neither do we, end quote. A trained pastor and chaplain, Shore-Goss specializes in American Sign Language and hospice work. He says, quote, we offer authentic faith and promise to walk with you, end quote. Celebrating his first Pride in small-town Florida, Shore-Goss told LGBTQ Nation, quote, we're creating a refuge for all who seek family and welcome, end quote. Queer people love and want religion, right? That is just something that people just don't seem to understand, especially the right? Religion belongs to us too.
Right.
All right? So a church like this, kudos to you to have the cojones to be out, to be true, to be welcoming in such a white, right town. I mean, like when you think about it, like when many of us, it takes 8 hours to drive out of Florida. Right? Mm-hmm. And when we drive, some of us LGBTQ plus people, we don't stop in certain cities because it's not safe for us.
Stay on the road past Orlando.
Right. So kudos to them. I love what they're doing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think a lot of LGBT folks probably left religion when they were younger and maybe searching for something. And churches like this that actually make a point of putting it out there. We welcome everyone. It's great.
Yeah.
Pay attention, Ron DeSantis.
So, you don't know how to pay
Rhonda.
attention.
Pay attention.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up the USA view. Stephen King reveals It storyline inspired by gay boys' murder. On July 7, 1984, 3 teenagers in Bangor, Maine murder Charlie Howard for being gay. The crimes shocked Bangor, including Stephen King, who moved there in 1980 to write It. King memorialized Howard in the novel, refusing to absolve Bangor. This month marks the 40th anniversary of Howard's murder, a poignant reminder of his courage to live openly in 80s America despite constant harassment. This is once again Stephen King, so supportive of our community. So this is showing, something that was so tragic turning to something positive. So
Stephen King is a weird genius.
Yeah.
He's a weird ass dude, okay? And I am not watching it 40 years before, 40 years after. I hate clowns. Clowns freak me the F out, so I will not. But
let me just turn this way down.
It's nice. But you ain't no clown. It's nice to see that the inspiration, right, moved him to write It, which was a, fiercely popular book and movie. So,
right.
Yeah.
And, the fact that he's highlighting it even 40 years later, means he wants to bring attention to the fact that gay people are getting murdered, gay young people.
Yeah.
Been happening forever.
Yeah. LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up sports. Wimbledon champion Barbora Krejcikova honors gay tennis mentor and praises LGBTQ plus community. Barbora Krejcikova claimed her second Grand Slam. How do you say it, Dino?
Krejcikova.
Krejcikova. Claimed her women's singles final last week. She paid tribute to her late gay mentor, Jana Novotna, saying, before she passed away, she told me, quote, and I go win a slam. I achieved that in Paris in 2021, end quote. Ahead of her finale, Krejcikova shared supportive to her LGBTQ plus fans during a Q&A on Twitter. She said, quote, they are amazing and brave. I think that there has been a lot of lesbians in women's tennis, and many of them have been out and have been great role models for young women. And, kudos to you and congratulations on winning your title.
Yeah, and supporting our community on such a huge platform where she knows she's going to get praise and critiques.
Right. Everybody needs gay mentors, all right? So I'm going to give you a list of some of mine, all right? Mark Hunter, Al Ferguson, Dale Stein, Glenn Weinzimmer, Richard Gray. Those are some of my gay mentors. If you need some, I will lend one to you. Cindy Brown is another one of my gay mentors. If you want to borrow her, I will also let you have her. Only for a limited amount of time, though.
Even though I was cheering for Jasmine Paolini, who was the one that played her in the final.
Did she beat her?
Barbora, Jasmine Paolini has played in the final the last two, Roland Garros and the Wimbledon. So she's from Italy, beautiful girl of African background, a great character. Now that I know that Barbora Krejcikova is so, we all knew Jana Novotná. I knew her gay, following, and even though I'm not a lesbian, I'm always supporting lesbian players. And in tennis, I'm a little lesbian, right? But Amélie Mauresmo, another one from France. Well, even though I love her, I don't love her so much lately. Martina Navratilova as well. But, that's one that should have been more supportive of our community, and she's turned on us lately. But again,
Did I say that out loud? I did.
Right, you did.
Sorry.
Okay.
But kudos to Barbora Krejcikova and your admiration. Krejcikova, right.
Krejcikova.
And,
how do I say it? I want to say it like when I tell her that in bed, Krejcikova.
Krejcikova. It's the seventh Czech that wins the Wimbledon final in the women's tournament.
Word.
So that is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on our favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the broader attention of the world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
That's right, Bon. I am your anchor, FayWhat? And on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the incredible anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Bonnie Builder, Cindy Brown, and Dino Mosquera. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. into our LGBTQ plus world. We wish you good night.